All right, back again. I was asked about this, and this is a pretty good one. Um, Holding on to the idea of a real connection. When many of you go through a separation with someone who you thought was connected with you and love, you thought you may have had love, all of these things, right? And this can, especially, this is something that narcissists play on in particular, but it doesn't have to be exclusive to only narcissists doing this. And we go to the beginning of things, right? The beginning of everything and how everything in the beginning feels, right? The feelings is what has us caught up in a bind later, right? The beginning of a situation, you're meeting more than likely that person's representative. And the representative's job is to make as much as possible that initial connection seem as perfect as possible, right? So you met the perfect girl, you met the perfect guy. They're behaving in the way that you want them to behave. They're speaking the language that you want to hear. They're doing the things that you want done. They're sharing the same ideas and dreams and goals and so forth and so on. That all of this is just like they're on the same page. So you're thinking, wow, finally, I've met the counterpart that wants what I want and values what I value, which creates a strong, immediate connection that, pretty much it has the same effect. It binds you. It binds you like glue. You're bound, at least binded, at least to that person. It's mirroring at its best. That's all it is. They're just mirroring everything that you would want. That's why when in the beginning of a situation, when people are saying, tell me about yourself, tell me this, tell me that, I would highly suggest to not indulge in too much of your information right off top. Not until you have had time to vet them and screen them and see consistency in their character. Because many times when people are doing that, they're just trying to get info, to get insight on how they can best create the character that you want to see. They create that character that you want to see. They'll be everything that your fantasy has desired. Everything that you have wished you've wanted. They will go to work on creating that character because it gets them so much out of you. See, when a person displays the perfect, ideal person that you want, you hand over everything. Keys, money, everything. You're completely sold because you bought into the idea of perfection. Yeah, that's what happened. You bought into the idea of perfection and you got tricked into believing that perfection exists. And this is where many of you get lost. Nothing is perfect. Nothing was designed to be perfect. All right? Nothing is perfect and nothing was ever designed to be perfect. This is where you are able to get uniqueness and stuff like that and develop an individual type of personality and characteristic of yourself. Of course, you get things from here and there, but nothing is going to be perfect. And that's the first red flag. If it's going too smooth, too good, red flag. Because in the end, in life, you're going to get hurt by people. You're going to get disappointed by people. That's just a part of life. You can't throw everything away in certain instances and just run till you find something else. Is like, oh, I'm going to meet the perfect person. They're going to be this way and this way. They're not going to do any of this. Listen, nothing, no human being, especially on earth, is going to be perfect. So instead, what you have to look for is what good outweighs the bad. If there is more good within that interaction, within that knowing, within whatever of that person, if you have more good that you can speak of your interaction and stuff with that person, then they are maybe they're worth it. And maybe that's more worth fighting for. If you're going to fight for anything, fight for something that's added value to you. It may have not been the most perfect run, but they left with you having more than they've taken. Each person you encounter, this is a major character thing. When you encounter a person, each person that you've encountered and that they've encountered, they should always be able to sit back and say, you left them with something that increased their value, that added to them. If you find a person and that person has a track record where they're taking away, depleting people, red flags all over the place. Warning signs, danger. All right. What happens frequently, though, people want to see perfection, and perfection exists in nothing. You know, they go in thinking that a person is not going to disappoint them ever. A person's not going to let them down. That's where you set yourself up for heartbreak. Right? Has to be a set of things that when you add everything up, when you lay everything on the table, and you think back with your interaction, with your whatever experience with that person, and you can say, there's some things that I don't like. I don't like this and I don't like that. But overall, 90% of who they are, I'm good with. There's that 10% that really gets to me, though. Right? And if you got a split like that where you got a 90-10, but it's the 10% really gets on your nerves to where you feel, nah, I don't like that 10%. Or if it's an 80-20 and you're like, I don't like that 20%. That 20% just gets to me. I cannot stand that 20% that I don't like about them. I'm going to go try to find someone with that 20%. You know how things work, folks. When you do that, it's like it's like a law almost, like a universal law that, yes, it'll give you that 20% that you wanted. But now guess what's missing? The 80% that you really liked in the other person before is missing now. You got your 20, but now that 80% that you was okay with, that you really liked, and you just wanted to make it complete, make it perfect, it's now missing. That's that mystery of the grass is greener effect. You go and it ends up missing. You got your 20 that you were really pressed for to get. You just had to get that 20%. And you went and you found it. But now you got 80% that now you're missing, that this other person cannot produce for you. So you're still in the bind. Now you feel lack. And the crazy part about it, you got your 20% now that you really wanted out of the other person that they didn't have. But now you're still not satisfied. Listen, for everything you gain, you're gonna lose. For everything you lose, you're gonna gain. It's about finding, if you have the good situation, finding what is good, what's more good. If you have more good than bad, it's worth holding on to. A lot of you in these situations with narcissists, you got caught up in the illusion of that good, where you got tricked. So you think, oh, I'm getting 100%. Right? I'm trying to give contrast between something natural and not natural. On the not natural part, not side of it now, the narcissist is going to show you 100%. 100% everything good in the beginning. And it's a total illusion. They've gotten you to believe that you can actually have 100% of everything you wanted, exactly the way you want it. And this is what gets you caught up. And when you start to see the flaws and the mask coming off the narcissist, you are now trying to get that 100% back. The narcissist was only, playing with you. They were giving you, feeding you the ideal, at least, in your mind of the perfect person. So they got your own mind to play tricks on you. And now your mind is constantly trying to regain that perfection. The biggest thing you need to understand to undo yourself from wanting and desiring the narcissist when you're trying to pull away is to understand that law. Nothing is 100% perfect. And what you felt was not perfection. It was deception. You have to know the difference. And so once you're able to understand that, folks, you're able to see things for what they are and make yourself content with what you may have that may be good. Because I can tell you all, when you've went through it with the narcissist, 99.9% of the time it's all bad. But you're still holding on to the ideal of perfection when in the beginning, when it was all good, not realizing that that doesn't exist. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this message. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Have a good one.